It's a high drive center field. Beer leans back. This game is turned upside down. Pujols into the air. It's deep to left. Taylor's back at the wall. It's 700. On fly ball. Deep right. There it goes. Soaring into history. Fastball hit to left. It is long gone.
Hello and welcome to Swing for Contact's Baseball Podcast, Episode 8. It is March 12th, and we're in the middle of pool play for the World Baseball Classic, and we're going to talk about the standings, the first 4 or 5 games for each team, and what happened with Team USA last night. We'll just jump right into it with Pool A. Some crazy stuff taking place there. Aiden, what's your thoughts on Pool A so far in the World Baseball Classic?
So, Pool A, I had Cuba and Netherlands going through, and honestly, it looked like the opposite was going to be true for my predictions, and Netherlands were going to make it while Cuba didn't. Then all of a sudden, the entire pool kind of got switched up last night, kind of at the last moments. Cuba ends up making it. Italy does too. Netherlands, Panama, and Chinese Taipei are all out, which I heard that Chinese Taipei is now relegated, and they've got to try to get, I don't know what the correct word is here. They've got to re-qualify for the next WBC because they got 5th.
Okay. Which
really sucks because they played some really dang good games, and they've got the atmosphere.
Hey, you're an atmosphere guy.
I am a very big atmosphere guy. I loved watching their games and watching their fans out there.
Yeah, they were rolling pretty good, and then Cuba came out and took a 7-1 game against them on Saturday. And then Cuba also ran off a big win. Was it yesterday or was it Friday? When they went back to back? I think
it was yesterday because they were 0-2 to start it. I thought, or they were 1-2. They were 0-2.
So yeah, the other team obviously is Italy moving on. Everyone in Pool A finished 2-2. Italy gets the tiebreaker off runs scored. And so yeah, Cuba, Italy, Netherlands, Panama, and Chinese Taipei all went 2-2, but Cuba and Italy move on past pool play. Flipping over to Pool B real quick, Japan is just doing Japan things, and they rattled off 4-0 so far in pool play, and they obviously are qualifying for the bracket.
Yep.
I was pleasantly surprised so far with the Australia team.
Same. They were very surprising.
And I've been very kind of disappointed by the Korea team. Korea sitting right now at 1-2, Australia sitting at 2-1. And I think the Japan team is playing Australia, or they played Australia late last night / early this morning.
They beat them
7-1.
Yeah, they did beat them.
And I think tomorrow is Korea playing China at 5 a.m. I might have to find a way to wake up for that Monday morning game because a lot is on the line for those two teams going into that one.
This whole WBC has ruined my sleep schedule.
Oh, 100%.
I've not slept a lot recently. This one, half surprising. I think we both had Japan at the top. I think we both also had Korea going forward. They don't have pitching. Their pitching has been terrible. They've given up the second most runs in the pool, China being the other team. You got Czech Republic, who...
Czech Republic.
I'm so bad at it, and I knew I was going to butcher it. They've got teachers out there allowing less runs than Korea is. Japan kind of has moved their way into one of my favorite teams. I wasn't as in on the hype, but their pitching's really good. I think they have the most chemistry of any team in this tournament from what I've seen. Of course, we haven't seen a lot of Pool C and Pool B, but they've got the framework to easily win this WBC.
Lars Newbar cranking the pepper shaker out at second base.
Yeah.
So
Did you see the Ohtani home run?
I did see the Ohtani home run.
And they all passed the ball around.
Yeah.
And it wasn't stolen.
It was awesome, man.
It would have been stolen here, man. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
100%. That ball is not, whoever caught that's not getting it back. Like, if that was the case. Yeah, the
Dude, the
Japanese
culture's just
baseball is
amazing.
awesome. I love it.
It's so good.
They're looking really good, obviously 4-0, sitting there with 2 or 3 kind of ace type pitchers. Like they've got pitching, they've got offense,
really good pitching.
They play the field sound. Like they're the most complete all around team that I've seen play more than once so far. So
The chemistry's there, man.
I think I have them kind of going all the way to the finals, and we'll see what kind of happens on the other side of the pools. But Japan's looking really good. And then, can Australia hold on to that second spot, or will Korea find a way to storm back? Will the Czech Republic firefighters and teachers find a way to make it into the bracket? There's a lot of things that could happen these next 24 hours.
Lynn Sandy run may be over for them.
We'll find out.
They kind of got doused.
Let's go over to the American sites here. So Pool C. We'll talk a little bit more about the USA game here in a minute, but Colombia coming out swinging hot bats the other day and got a walk-off win against Mexico, or I don't know, I guess not a walk-off win, but an extra innings win against Mexico. Canada is in their first game right now. They're actually playing Great Britain as we speak. And this game is in the bottom of the 4th, bases loaded, and it's 14-8 Canada. So talk about pitching being an issue. Offense has not been an issue for these two teams right now because they are torching the scoreboard.
Overbetters are extremely happy right now.
No doubt.
They cashed in, I believe, in the second inning. And they'll continue to watch these two teams and think about the over.
Real quick on that, the Colombia-Mexico game. So that game featured a kind of a pitching battle at first. Julio Urias from the Dodgers went a strong start, 5 innings. He did allow 3 runs, but struck out 6 in his debut for the WBC. And on the other side, they had a bunch of guys that I had no idea who they were pitching. There's a couple major league relievers, I think, like Romero is one of the Twins guys. But really, I was pretty surprised by the Colombian pitching staff. They held their own, and then the costly error late for Team Mexico cost the run in the 10th, and Colombia won that 5-4. But a lot of baseball still to be played in this pool, so Mexico can still make a rebound. But USA and Colombia are off to 1-0 starts. Looks like Canada is going to be off to a 1-0 start. And we'll see what happens going into that. We'll talk about the Great Britain game and USA game here a little bit more, like I said, in a minute. I think coming up next, the rest of today, you've got Mexico, United States coming up soon in a couple hours. That's tonight. And then tomorrow, USA, Canada is playing, and Great Britain, Colombia is playing. So still a lot to take out there. And then the final pool D, happening over in Miami. You have Israel, Puerto Rico, Venezuela, the Dominican, and Nicaragua. Currently, Israel, Puerto Rico, and Venezuela are 1-0. Dominican Republic is 0-1, and Nicaragua is sitting at 0-2. So, any instant reactions off of Pool D?
I think I had the DR and Puerto Rico advancing. I slept on Venezuela. Venezuela looks really good. Forgot that they had the GOAT Martin Perez. I didn't think any Texas Rangers were pitching in the WBC. Found out I was wrong about that. Hope he continues to do well. Your boy Hector Neris was giving some chin music to your other boy, Jose Altuve.
Yeah, dusted him off the plate.
They may have to settle that once they get back to the Astros. Hopefully that drops their chemistry down, or at least that's what I'm hoping.
Probably all planned. The other thing in that game is you had Luis Garcia striking out World Series MVP Jeremy Pena on 3 straight sliders, I think. And Garcia made the comment, was the game plan to throw sliders to Pena? And he laughed and said, yeah, of course. So, it's fun when you get teammates playing each other. I think in these games, it's a little bit different, but having Neris and Altuve and then Garcia and Pena, some Astro connects going at each other. It's kind of cool. But yeah, Venezuela can hit, man. They've got a lineup that, I knew Altuve was going to be there. I knew Acuna was going to be there. And then you add in Arias and Salvi, Glaber, Eugenio, David Peralta. It's like, man, that's Anthony Santander. Like, they can hit. They've got some batters. And the Dominican Republic went up there with their star-studded lineup: Julio, Soto, Machado, Teoscar, Devers, Pena, and they struck out 15 times against Venezuelan pitching.
That can't happen.
Yeah, that's not going to win. That's not going to win you this thing. Martin went 3 1/3 with 4 strikeouts. Luis Garcia came in for 3 innings, got 7 strikeouts. Jose Alvarado finished the game off with a 2 strikeout performance. So I think Venezuela definitely brought their A game in terms of pitching to this one. But if you're going to play the DR and beat them, like, that's a good time to use your A game pitching. So props to those guys for that decision. And then, Israel picking up the win in their first game. Good for them. I don't know how long it's going to last with Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and the Dominican kind of doing their thing. But currently, I think they're ahead. Like, they're number 1 sitting in the pool as of right now because of the run differential.
I see them at 3. I see Venezuela 5-1, Puerto Rico 9-1, and then Israel 3-1.
Okay, gotcha. Maybe mine is just not accounting for run differential on it.
But I thought...
Yes?
I think that may be wrong, because I thought the Venezuela DR game was like 5-4. Mine may be wrong, because I thought that Venezuela gave up more than 1 run.
Either way, it doesn't really matter. The point is Israel's sitting 1-0, Puerto Rico's 1-0, Venezuela's 1-0, and the Dominican coming off and laid an egg. So
it may matter, given Pool A was all 2s, and we see how that went.
I'm saying it doesn't matter as of right now, and us wasting time trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this next round of Pool D, some games that are coming up today. You got the Venezuela Puerto Rico game coming on at 6 tonight, which I will probably be sitting in front of the couch watching that one because there's a lot on the line there. And then tomorrow, the Dominican Republic looks to rebound against Nicaragua, which unfortunately I think that's going to make those guys 0-3. And then the Israel Puerto Rico game, see if Israel can keep up their winning ways or if Puerto Rico is going to come back and take it to them. So
that'll be hard.
Some storylines going on in pool play. Obviously, Pool A and B are pretty. Pool A obviously is decided. Pool B is run by Japan right now, and then C and D are going to be kicking off a lot of action these next couple of days. So that's kind of the recap as of 4:52 p.m. on March 12th. So we'll see what happens going forward. Let's talk U.S. Great Britain for a second.
First thing I want to comment on, the umpires have really disappointed me in this WBC. It looks like they went and got the guys from the Little League World Series and put them out there. I thought they were terrible this game, man. There were a lot of calls in the strike zone. They were just missing pitches, man. I mean, it's for both teams. I think it was a little bit more. They were missing more for Great Britain, because I did make the joke at one point that they're showing who their allegiance is to. I go America. But it's disappointing, man, whenever some of these games are kind of, you can notice the umps, and you don't ever want to notice the umpires or the referees in any sport. And I feel like they were noticeable.
Okay. I didn't notice it as much, but I was kind of playing catch up. I got to the game late.
Yeah.
I was trying to fast forward and catch up and watch it as fast as I could. So some of the little nuances or missed things I didn't quite get the full scope of.
It wasn't really anything with it wasn't any of the field umpires. I'll say that. It was the guy behind the plate. I mean,
you're frustrated with the guy behind the plate. Okay.
I was very frustrated with him, and even whenever he's making bad calls for the other team, I was like, that's not cool. Manager for the Great British team, when he came and took their first pitcher out, he kind of shook his head at the umpire, was letting him know, hey, you kind of put our guy in a bad spot here, and I really felt he did.
Waino got the start for Team USA.
Mm-hmm.
He had the leadoff home run. Basically, we were down 1-0 pretty quick, but at first I was a little nervous seeing Wainwright as the guy we're trotting out there for game one. Nothing against Adam Wainwright. I mean, he's been pitching in Major League Baseball for a long time. Obviously, a very talented guy and whatnot. But you kind of worry about like what's he got as far how sharp is he going to be coming into whatever age season he is, and some mixed results the last couple of years, I think. And so I was a little concerned, and then they scored immediately, and I was like, oh, here we go. Because the one thing is like the pitching for our team, I think, is probably our weaker point because our lineup is ridiculous. And so, I think we can score runs with anybody, but, you never want to start a game off with a deficit. But he settled down and got 4 innings, struck out 4. I only allowed the 1 hit or allowed the 1 run. And so, solid start by Adam Wainwright there. What you got?
I also love that, or not love that. That's what I also thought, that our pitching's kind of obviously our weak point. I also made another comment last night that we're basically the U.S. Cardinals. Like both the Cardinals teammates were kind of putting in the work for us out there, man.
Dude, yes.
Goldie took one high and in, got hit. Almost took another one, and he got on base, and then Arenado was putting in the work, just trying to get him in. I really loved that. Schwarber obviously did what he did. Had that guy in the stands call it, and you could hear him screaming after it. That was beautiful, man. Like I said, I really like this lineup. Hope Trout can get something going. I know it's just game one. It's Trout. He will get something going.
I mean, he scored a run last night too. Like, it's not like he wasn't a non-factor.
Yeah. Arenado, I believe the announcers even touched on this. I think he has more hits right now than he did last tournament. Like, he's looking good. He just seemed comfortable out there.
Yeah.
Loves seeing the pride they have wearing the USA across their chest. It's really nice.
Yeah, you had Real Muto popping a double. Arenado obviously had 2 doubles, scored Goldschmidt both times. Goldie scored 3 times this game. Arenado 2 RBI, Schwarber with the 3 RBI, and Tucker with an RBI. Tucker and Schwarber both got their RBIs with 2 outs, so some clutch hitting and getting some runs scored with guys on base pass and
they had
moments.
A good 2-out rally last night.
The team running in scoring position, not great. A 3 for 14, left 20 guys on base. But Trout stole a base even last night. Like, he was out there running the base paths, and it's like, okay, let's do this. Like, let's go for it.
I don't know if you saw it, but Goldschmidt and Arenado both had some big runs to first on kind of like infieldish hits where they both ended up falling over first, but they got there. I mean, they're putting their all into this. I'm really glad to see that.
For the pitching side on Great Britain, really I didn't notice many of the names, but there was the one kid that came in late for you that you really liked, Peterson, right?
Michael Peterson. That kid, he's been in the minors a little bit. They've kind of touched on him starting and relieving, but minors are a little weird with that. You'll see relievers getting some starting innings and such. He had some stuff last night, man. I mean, he's pumping 100-mile fastballs, getting low set or kind of mid-70s curveball, had a couple good change-ups. He was dealing, man. And if it wasn't for what I also thought were some bad calls by the ump, I think he goes 1-2-3. He ended up going 1-2-4, but he looked really good, man.
And then obviously that lineup, Trace Thompson was batting in the 2-hole, not lead off, and he's the guy that got the home run off Waino. And then it was kind of really their only real action. Thompson had
he had that and then a double the next at bat. I believe.
Yeah, he had a double. Kid named Knowles got a triple off Freeland.
He was the only person that scored, wasn't he? I think he scored twice.
No, so Knowles scored off his triple, and then Thompson scored on his homer.
Okay. I thought Thompson got to second and then to third on a pop-up and then scored after that. But I guess he didn't score from third right there.
I don't believe so. So, yeah, USA went in their first game 6-2. Always a good way to start. Watching this Great Britain game today, I have it on next to my screen here, and it's now 16-8 in the top of the 5th.
Oh, my gosh.
So, as much as I want to, like, not clown, but I'm a little bit worried about the Team USA pitching. I'm worried about the Team USA pitching when we get into bracket play.
Yeah, which I'm not as worried about our relievers.
Sure,
it's mostly our starters.
And like I said, we have quality pitchers. We just don't. I don't know that we necessarily have that. Like we don't have a Shohei or a Darvish. I don't feel like right now.
Or a
Sandy. Like we're kind of lacking that true ace guy that we can say, hey, we need you to go get me 4 innings of shutout ball here.
That guy's playing for Puerto Rico right now, or our last ace.
Yeah, the guy who won the World Series, the WBC MVP for us is playing in Puerto Rico right now. So, I'm sure someone's going to step up and someone's going to take the reins, and there's going to be lineups that we're going to be able to take advantage of and holes and whatnot, especially during pool play. I'm not too worried about it. And if Waino can do his thing and Michaelis can do his thing and a couple of other guys can just take care of the ball when that we hand it to them. I think when we play Mexico tonight, that will be we'll get really a feel for like, okay, how much depth do we have in the pitching department? Because I'm not worried about us being able to hit. I think we'll work that stuff out pretty easily. When Jeff McNeil is a batting title champion and batting ninth, you feel pretty good about your lineup.
Who's the other catcher for Team USA? Do you know if they like who the other guy on the roster is?
I don't, but I can type it in real quick. Let's see, Team USA roster catcher. Let's see what we got.
Okay, I believe they said that they're gonna give Realmuto maybe some rest tonight.
So we got we got Higgy from the Yankees, and we have Will Smith for the Dodgers. So we're in good hands there. The other infielders that we didn't see: Bobby Witt, Tim Anderson, and Pete Alonso. The other outfielders: Cedric Mullins. Schwarber was the DH, so Cedric was another outfielder that we have.
It's so stacked out there, man.
The other pitchers, Merrill Kelly is coming off a really good season with the Diamondbacks. He's really good. Kendall Graveman has kind of been up and down. Lance Lynn can obviously be a dude.
Which he was near the last half of his pitching last year. He did pretty good, so I wouldn't mind seeing him out there.
Brady Singer from the Royals. So we have pitching. I don't want to be like poo-poo in our pitching staff. Ryan Presley, Adam Ottavino, Devin Williams. We've got bullpen arms.
We got really good bullpen arms, I think.
So, I'm just a little worried come bracket time when we see a little bit more star-studded lineups. Who's going to be able to shut it down for us if we need a shutdown start. But have they announced the starters tonight? Let's see. Patrick Sandoval going for Mexico and Nick Martinez getting the start for Team USA. It looks like
Martinez, is it showing the lineups yet or no?
I have not seen a lineup card on this page. Here we go. I've got Mookie batting leadoff and right, Trout in center, Goldie at first, Arenado at third, Alonso at DH, Tucker in left, Anderson at short, Will Smith at catching, and then Jeff McNeil at second base.
So basically, they're taking Turner out, Schwarber out, Realmuto out, and that's
they're just rotating some guys around. I bet that top four pretty much stays the top four all the way through, and then you'll see Schwarber and Pete probably playing matchups, one from the right, one from the left. Then Anderson and Turner probably will be the infield substitution guys whenever you need it. Jeff McNeil will move around when they want to play both of those guys, maybe. And then they'll probably just alternate games with Will and Realmuto. So
I think if they want to get serious, they put Schwarber at leadoff. Get him. Let's get it back.
Shoot, man, let him come up to bat with 3 guys on base every time.
I watched him freaking sit on a first pitch yesterday, and I thought we were in an alternate universe. That usually never happens. It was 90. Looks like right in his wheelhouse too.
All right.
Just sat there.
So we've talked a little ball. We've talked about pools. Now that we've pretty much seen all the teams play, jerseys. Little
jerseys.
What's the fit that you're liking right now? What's the fit that you're not liking?
Let me pull. Well, the obvious one I'm not liking is Great
Great
Britain.
Britain is,
Those
man,
are terrible.
that is rough. It's like they just went and took Blob Impact and just threw it on a gray shirt.
It was awful, man.
And the thing is, like, I kind of like their hat. Like they've got that navy hat with the red GB, and it's like a little embossment on it. Like the hat looks fine. Like just roll with that. Design your jersey off that hat. And it's like they spent an hour and a half designing the hat and 5 minutes designing the jersey.
Do you want to?
While you're still looking, I can tell you right now that this might be a controversial take. I personally, and I understand the design choice of it. I don't necessarily like the design choice of it. I'm not a huge fan of the S, like the way we have our USA. I get that it's the stars and stripes, it's the flag waving the S, and it's the red and white stripes. Like I get it. I get why, and people love it, and some people are all about it, and good for them. Like I'm glad that target audience likes it. I personally don't like it. I kind of just wish it was just the same USA. And I'm not a huge fan of our hats either, man. Like I don't know. I'm a little down on the USA jersey.
Yeah, it's not the best.
It's a little, maybe a little controversial for me, but I don't like the changing of the font in the jersey type, and that's just a design choice for me personally. My favorite jersey and my favorite overall look, even going back to last time, honestly, is Puerto Rico. I think their colors make the most sense for their jerseys and their hats. I think it's they keep the same type font going across the hat and the jersey. There's a lot of symmetry, and things just kind of look clean on the Puerto Rico jersey. I think it's the cleanest looking jersey. And then my runner up, I like the Japan navy gold and red look. So Australia is very Oakland A's-ish, which immediately cuts them out for me. I don't mind the Canada jerseys that we're watching right now. The red helmet, red jersey top. I kind of like that. But I was a little disappointed in some of the Pool D jerseys. The Venezuela is a lot of fun colors, but I feel like it's a little too much for me personally. Maybe I'm just getting old. And then the Dominican Republic, I was honestly kind of very disappointed by the design choices on it. And I'm sure it makes sense for them. I'm sure like there's a reason why they designed it the way they did. But to me, just the colors clash a little bit for me in the way they did their blue and their red, and their fonts and in their logo and whatnot. I much prefer the way Puerto Rico did theirs compared to the Dominican. But that's my jersey hot takes.
Okay. I'm a big fan of the pinstripes. So like Japan and Netherlands for me, those are kind of like my top two. I don't think anyone kind of takes the place of those two. I know Yankees fans were watching Japan kind of squinting their eyes, so it looked like the uniforms were black and white, and they were seeing Otani in the black and white pinstripes. But of course, those are navy. China's people. Listen, the hat looks cool, man. The dragon's cool. I'm not a big fan of China's. I don't like the red ones. I don't like the overabundance of red. Just not the biggest fans of those.
I do like the China hat. The dragon hat is
China hat's really
that's a good call.
Columbia just decided that they were going to take the Red Sox City Connects and slap Columbia.
That's
across
exactly
from
what it is. That's exactly. I was trying to place it. I'm like, what jersey is this? That's exactly what it is. Yep.
It's. I don't like their City Connects, so I'm not really going to like that. Let's see. Kind of like Korea's. It was a little simpler.
Yeah, Korea's a little bit more traditional in their look.
I like Israel's pennies. I like their hat too. The 6-pointed star on their hats looks pretty nice.
That's a good hat. I think. For me, my favorite hat is Puerto Rico, but then out of Pool D, like I probably would go Israel would be my number 2.
Canada's got a pretty good like logo for their hat, but I don't like the font on their jerseys.
You don't like
That looks weird.
the stripe font?
I don't, man.
I get that.
I don't know.
think that's a very polarizing
Looks weird on the jersey.
like mindset for that. Again, I look at
Nicaragua's
this Great
are
Britain
simple.
hat. The Great Britain hat's a fine hat. This navy hat with the red embossed GB with the little white stroke outline. Like the hat's fine. Like what did y'all do to these jerseys, brothers? Oh, it's rough.
I think Italy could have done a lot better with their jerseys. I'm not really the biggest fan of theirs. I like Cuba's blue and like top half blue, bottom half red jerseys, but their white jerseys aren't as like, I don't like those as much.
Where are you at on
Of
Mexico?
course, Mexico, probably put them in like my top 6.
Yeah, they're kind of mid tier to me. I like the font choice in a weird way. Like normally I would say I'm not a fan, but I like the way they kind of use the green and the red together. But it's just a little, I don't know. It's just, it feels like it clashes a little bit too much in certain points. And it's kind of that same reason why I don't like the Dominican Republic jerseys, kind of the same reason why I'm not high on the Mexico jerseys, but
So
I know that people are
I think
buying
the
them like
Mexico-
crazy. So
Yeah, I think the Mexico jerseys do the colors perfect. Like maybe they clash a little bit, but I think they really like represent the country.
Oh, 100%.
Right? The color choices, which I don't think Italy's does. That's why I really don't like Italy's. So like I'll have them like top 5, 6. Of course I've got the pennies top 3, all 3 of theirs. And then there was one I was just looking at that I was going to mention. Hold on. Oh, I think that's why I don't like Canada's as much. Like Mexico, I feel like they do the name on the front. I like how large it is, like kind of how it fits. Canada's looks small. Like if you're looking at this, it doesn't look like it fits.
yeah,
I think that just it hurts my eyes like looking at it. So I don't like that.
okay. I can pick that up. The racing stripe look on the collar is a little weird. How it ends like at the front of the collar too. It's not my
Mhm.
favorite jersey for sure, but I do like it better than the Great Britain one. So
Australia's bland, man. Like
yeah, Australia is basically the Oakland A's copy and pasted.
I don't know, man.
Which is fine. Do your thing. But anyway, is there anything else we need to cover before we close this thing up? We're about that 30-minute mark now.
I think we're good to be honest, man.
We've got the Mexico United States game coming up.
Mhm.
That I'm excited for. We'll try to get another recap done probably middle of next week when we can kind of close the book on pool play and get ready for the brackets, and
Yep.
we'll go from there. Just for fun, it is now 17-8 Canada in the bottom of the 5th. So the scoring has not stopped. We're still scoring runs, and my guy Abraham Toro up to bat for Team Canada. I forget that he's over there.
Okay.
So that will wrap this thing up. Aiden, any last words?
I think I'm good, man.
Awesome.
Actually, shame on our baseball culture.
Shame on our baseball. Aiden wants
Shame
more
on it.
hype at our baseball games.
I do, man. Like watch any other country's baseball games, man. They just love it, and we don't have that passion for the game, and it's really disappointing. I may have to start just kind of cutting some of my MLB watching time and start watching the Japan leagues and stuff like that.
Good.
Because man, they do it fun.
Get some KBO
Right.
in Japan streaming.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. All right. Well, if you made it this far, be sure to comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff on all of our channels. We're on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We are also still building this website. Some new stuff going up on that. Occasionally, we'll be sending out a newsletter for those that sign up. If you sign up now on that website, you do get a discount code for your first store purchase. Some new merchandise stuff is going up soon. And we'll have some more of that gear to show off later. So yeah, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.